What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nash, and today I'm going to be talking about why you should not graduate college early. Now, you've probably been told the opposite. You need to get in and get out as fast as you can. And I've seen people graduate in 2 years and 3 years, and I'm here to tell you that that is not a good idea. That is not going to be for everyone, but at the same time, it's for most people. Graduating early, it is not going to be good for you. And I'm going to be explaining why. These are not going to be in any type of order. All right, so the first one is going to be relationships. Now, when you move into college, you're moving into a new community, and you can relate this to moving into a new neighborhood. The first thing you do is meet the neighbors, right? You build relationships with people that live in that community. Now, think of college, and maybe you might be coming in from a different state, from a different country. You're moving into this college community, and what you need to do is build relationships, right? And relationships take time to build. So if you plan on graduating in 2 or 3 years, you're not going to have enough time to build relationships. Yes, you might build 1 or 2, maybe a little more, but it's not going to be as much as someone who was in college for 4 or 5 years, right? So the person who takes longer, which might be 4 or 5 years, they're going to have more time to build relationships with different people, and those relationships are probably going to be stronger because of the time that they put into those relationships. Now, you can look at it as friends. I know a lot of people have met, their lifetime friends from college. I know I did. A lot of people have met their future wives and husbands in college, right? Those are the relationships that I'm talking about. And there's also the networking side of it, right? If you're going to be networking with professionals that are in the same major as you, right? They might help you later down in life if you need a job or things like that, right? And you can also network with college professors. So spending more time in college allows you to build a lot more relationships, and those relationships are going to be stronger because you spent more time building those relationships. And the next one is going to be stress. Now, if you plan on graduating in 2 to 3 years, you're going to have to take a lot of classes per semester. I know for my college, I needed 120 credits. And in order to graduate in 4 years and to meet the minimum of 120 credits, I needed to take 5 classes in the fall and 5 classes in the spring. That's it. If I did that for 4 years, I'll be done with my degree, which is what I did. Now, if you plan on graduating in 2 years or 3 years, you're gonna have to take a lot more classes to meet that credit requirement, right? That minimum credit requirement. So I've seen people start taking 6 classes per semester, 7 classes, right? Now, this causes a lot of stress because you don't have time to do anything else. You have to study, you have to, because you don't want to fail a class. If you fail a class, you have to retake that, and that's even going to push you back, right? If you plan on graduating in 2 years, you have no option but to pass. You have to pass the class. So people that do that, they're usually stressed because they have to study 24/7. They're always studying. There's always a quiz. There's always, since they're taking so many classes. And sometimes I've seen people take 7 classes, and some colleges actually limit how many classes you can take. If you go over that limit, then they start charging you more money, right? They'll charge you for the class, obviously, but they'll charge more money on top of that, right? Because they know there's people that will take 10 classes if you let them, right? Now, you might be spending more money than you need to be spending, but the main thing here is going to be stress, the stress that it's going to cause you. You're not going to have a life outside of taking exams and studying. So it's not always extreme as taking 7 classes per semester. Sometimes people will take the regular 5 classes in the fall, and then when summer comes, they'll take another 5 classes, right? So they don't really get to enjoy their summer or, go get an internship or do something else in the summer. They're still taking classes. And this is all to graduate early. Now, the next one is going to be work experience. So this is going to be connected to, taking too many classes. If you're taking 7 classes, or if you're taking classes in the fall, in the spring, in the summer, in the winter, if you're taking classes all year long, you don't have time to actually, gain work experience, right? You can't work a part-time job. You can't get an internship, because sometimes internships require you to work 15 hours a week or something like that, right? Now, if you are taking that many classes, you don't have time for that. Even if you have a little time, you're going to use that time to study, because you're not trying to take a risk to fail a class, and then that will push you back. You're trying to avoid that. So you're going to use every time you have to study or to do whatever you got to do to pass the class, right? you're going to be missing out on gaining work experience, which is one of the most important things that you need getting out of college. That's why you see all these jobs saying you need 2 years of work experience, right? The next one is going to be life skills. Now, college is about learning about life. That's how I've looked at it, right? Instead of just like focusing on studying and passing the class, you're also learning how to deal with people. You're learning how to communicate, right? I know my sophomore year, I moved into a college dorm. It was a hallway with a bunch of rooms in it, right? And this forces you to communicate. This forces you to learn people skills, right? Sometimes you might even have a roommate, right? So you learn to share a space. If you've never done that before, it's going to be your first time. And for some students, it is going to be their first time being independent, right? Away from their parents, away from their hometown. And now you actually have to make decisions. So you have to make sure that you eat, you have to make sure that you shower, and you make the decision. So it's your first time. So you're learning life skills, right? These are things that you do not want to learn after you graduate college. You know, college is a time to learn about life. You learn how to shave, you learn how to do this and that. You learn how to make friends, you learn how to drink, you know, you learn your limits. These are life skills that can be cut short if you decide to graduate early. And the worst thing that can happen to you is after you graduate, you start working your job and you start doing these things, right? You're supposed to do these things in college, so when you graduate, you don't have to do them because now you can focus on your job or your family or whatever you're doing after you graduate. And the next one is you might have to start paying student loans kind of early. I think if you're taking federal loans out, you have to pay them 6 months after you graduate. This one is not as important, but if you do not have a job lined up that's going to be paying you money, why would you want to start paying those loans early, right? And this leads me into my last point, which is you're going to be sitting at home if you do not have a job offer. So imagine you graduate in 3 years, right? And you don't have a job offer. What do you do after? You just go home and sit and apply for jobs and do whatever it is that you do, but you're not working. Now, your friends that you left in college, they're going to graduate a year after, right? Since you graduated, you know, during the 3rd year, 4th year, they graduate. And this whole time you've just been sitting at home and missing out on college. So sometimes there's really no point in graduating early if you have nothing lined up. So I know some people graduate early because they have job offers. Now, a lot of jobs, I've seen a lot of people get job offers their junior year in college because they've taken so many classes. They have a great GPA. They only have 5 classes left, and you know they have 2 semesters left to go. Now, jobs are not going to make you graduate a lot faster. They'll ask you, when are you expected to graduate, right? They're not asking you to graduate faster or to take 5 classes in a semester. Here's what I recommend. Let's say you're a junior. You only need 5 classes to graduate, but you have 2 whole semesters. Spread those classes around. Take 2 classes one semester and 3 classes the other semester. Now, with that free time, find a hobby, do things you actually enjoy doing, do some side hustles to make some money, do whatever you want to do. Just don't graduate college early. You're going to be missing out on a lot of things that you're not going to find out there. I know for most people, if you're in college, that is going to be the one place that you're around lots of younger people as well, because once you graduate, I'm telling you, nobody wants to hang out because people have responsibilities, they have jobs, they have families, they're focused on different things. So college is going to be the time that you're going to be building lifelong relationships as well as life skills. Now, that is pretty much it for this video. Let me know if I missed anything, if you want to add anything else to this. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.